Good evening, good evening. It's Tuesday night, and we're starting a 14-hour course, 7 consecutive Tuesday nights, in trying to do our best to help you get a business started this fall, or if you've already got a business, to help you carry it to the next level. My name is Steve Carver, and I'm talking to you from my home office studio now in Dunn, North Carolina, kind of right in the center of the state. This is my presentation number 1124. So I've been doing this for about 15 years and have really enjoyed my journey into entrepreneurship. And thank you for joining me and letting me join yours as well. Let me say up front, as I will in every session, I am not a lawyer and I am not a tax attorney or a tax advisor, a CPA, but I am a fellow that's been in business now for 64 years, continuously, and still in it today. I put in a good 8 hours working in my business today and talked with customers and sold a few things all over the country. So I've been there, I've done that, and I'm still doing that. I got t-shirts and books that I've written to prove it. So it's a pleasure to share with you my experiences, my failures, and my successes, and hopefully will help you avoid some pitfalls in the process. We are so lucky tonight to be sponsored by the Community College Small Business Center at James Front Community College in Kenansville, North Carolina. And Joy Wynn is that director. Here's a good picture of Joy, and she is with us tonight. So we're so glad that she is with us. I think she's probably traveling home and listening as she's driving. So thank you, Joy, for all that you do. One of the most dynamic directors in the game, and I'm so proud to be associated with you in the work that you're doing. If you're anywhere close to Dublin County or in that general area and would like to have an appointment with Joy, she will be glad to help you. All you need to do is give her a call or write an email, ask for an appointment. There is no charge, and it is totally confidential. Her phone number is 910-659-6008. I'll repeat that. Call Joy at 910-659-6008. Set up an appointment and talk with her. She'll help you any way that she can move your business forward. My story is I've been doing this since 1959 when I moved to Dunn, North Carolina from Fayetteville with my dad, and he started a tractor business some 63 years ago. And that is one of my 2 jobs that I've had through the years, being involved with Carver Equipment Company. And the time that I spent in the U.S. Coast Guard. So I hadn't had many employers, but I've had a couple of good ones so far. Our business started out as just a regular little old tractor dealership, but now it's a pretty impressive internet marketing tool operating as carverequipment.com. I invite you all to visit there. I doubt many of you are in the market to buy any of this stuff, but we will, through the series, talk about Carver Equipment a lot, because that's where I will share with you examples of ways that you can do marketing in your business that I have proven that they work and can do it for you easily. I've also owned and operated a large commercial mowing and landscaping company for over 12 years, mainly while my kids were in college and I needed some extra revenue to make it work. So I've done the side hustle. I know what it's all about. Mowing grass, spreading fertilizer, working in the Army and Air Force bases, airports, doing all different types of government contracts. So if that's an interest that you have, I can probably help you with some do's and don'ts related to government contracting. Come from a large family. Our combined, been married several times, and my combined family now is 14 children and 12 grandchildren and 2 greats. So we got a large crowd of family. I know what that's all about, and I want to tell you that when you think about 12 kids and 14 grandchildren, you already know right now that old Steve-O knows what drama is all about. So glad to share that with you as well. So let's move on now. Tomorrow, or maybe even tonight, you'll get a survey form after this session. Please take 60 seconds and fill that form out. This is where you grade me and my performance and what you think about it, and also give the director an idea of what changes that you would like made or what you do like about our presentations. and different topics that you want to make. So please complete the survey and send it back. It'll help everybody involved. Mainly, it'll help this program stay funded, which helps pay me for making it happen as well. So let's test out these chat buttons. Those of you that have the keyboard and can do chat, let's just see if they're working. I'm going to ask you some specific questions to get started and see what kind of participation we can get. What kind of weather do you like? I mean, we've had a week now of 100-degree weather, so simply tell me, do you like hot, cool, or warm weather? Just start typing in. Let me see who else got a chat button going on. There you go. I'm seeing a lot of cools. Well, I'm a warm weather fella. I like palm trees and warm weather, but it's been a little too hot for me. So thank you for typing in there. So let's see what else we got. How about your age? Are you over or under 40 years old? Over or under 40 years old? Give me an idea there. Over or under? There you go. Okay, we got several folks in the same club I am that's over 40, no doubt. Thank you, all of you, for doing that. Use those fingers now. That's a good thing. Now, are you thinking about a full-time or a part-time business or a side hustle, just something you don't work on when you can? Full-time, part-time, or side hustle? Side hustle, part-time, part-time. Usually we get a lot of part-times in these, but I also see some full-times for those that are retired and ready to start again. Okay, this is a good mix. Thank you all. You can all see the chat discussions there if you like. Thank you for typing in. I appreciate that. What town are you located in? What town will you do business in? What's the main town that you'll have your office? And we have people from all over the world that attend these seminars, so wherever you're at, you're always welcome. And we always like to see those that are close by, so maybe we'll stay in better touch. There's someone at Topsail. I bet your town's crowded this week. All right, how about the rest of you type on in there if you would. I'd appreciate it if you can show me what towns that you're in. That'll help us see what kind of range. Do you have a pet? If you got a pet, tell me that pet name. And my main pet is a bulldog, and Otis, and O-D-O-S is his name. No pets, no pets. A lot of people love their pets, and they're real important to me, and a lot of people do their businesses around their pets, different types of pet businesses, a lot of them. Mig, 6-year-old, Yorkie, Alex, all right. During the course of the
yes, can I get a watermelon milkshake?
Watermelon milkshakes. I believe you need to mute your mic, okay? There we go. I'd like a watermelon milkshake too. That'd work. Okay, now let's talk about something more serious. What type of business? If you've determined already what type of business that you're into or you're thinking about getting into, give me a description there. Automotive parts, housekeeping, mowing, spraying. What type of business? Here's an event planner. Okay, we got lots of information for you. Okay, and we got somebody writing in a foreign language. Let's try that in American English, if you would. They've priority. We're talking about nonprofit or for-profit. That's important as well. Seeing this information will help me tailor the series as we go. If you're thinking about nonprofit, make sure you type that in and let me know, and maybe even what type it is. Now, if you think of things during the session tonight, go ahead and type it in chat, even if we're not talking about right then, because I'll save all these chat notes and go back through them and try to answer any questions that you ask and make sure that we've got information to you. There's Mike and Danielle, an unknown, Scott, Nicole, Deuces. If y'all would, make sure you go to chat and give me your email addresses so we'll be able to stay in touch with you. So we've got 30 on board right now, so welcome to all of you, and we're going to get started. We'll do tonight's session, and I'm going to invite you to go steady with me for the next 6 weeks, because we've got a 7-part course here on Tuesday nights. And You're always welcome to attend them all or one of them or as you can, and you're also invited to invite other people to attend as well. If you've got someone that's an advisor or a counselor that's helping you think about your business, invite them to join us as well, because they may have some questions that can help everyone else do it. But those that can attend at least 5 of the 7 sessions will qualify for a certificate of completion. And there are lots of other opportunities for awards and certificates as well. If you signed on early enough, then Joy has already sent to you a lot of handouts. They're called, or study guides, which are files that are related to what we're talking about tonight, that if you have a chance to look through them, you'll find lots of good information for your business journal. So this is the point when I want to encourage you to set up a file on your computer for your business journal for the future, and save the files that I send to you, because they will all come in handy one day and hopefully save you not only time or money. The main one, though, is the one that's named number 1124. That is the main study guide for tonight. That kind of covers our talking points as a kind of an outline of our presentation tonight. But you got some others there that are very, very important and cover a lot of information. So it's up to you whether or not you just sit back, enjoy, make fun of the way I talk, and listen and try to figure out some things that you're interested in and just enjoy the class. Or maybe you're digging in and you're committed to starting your own business this fall, and you want all the information you can get and learn and apply. Application is so very important that you learn to apply it so that it can work for you. And so it's up to you just how hard that you study, do homework, and make this course have real meaning for you. And I'll guarantee you, I'm going to be working just as hard or harder than anyone else to make that happen. So you can get lots of certificates, do lots of things to earn awards in this class. We will recognize your performance and such as that. We kind of operate, I founded an organization called the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Associates. That's just a loose organization of people that attend these sessions through the years. And you know, lots and lots of people keep coming back because each session is new and improved, and we put so much out there that it's hard to get it all in one night, which you'll see. So we welcome you to work towards joining the Academy and learning all about it. The main thing it's all about is doing business the right way, with high standards and high morals. And if you participate and invite me to, I'll do everything I can to help promote your business at the Academy websites and in different ways all the way. Now, this is our 4th series of classes this year so far, and so we've had a lot of first-in-class awards. Sharwaki over in Rocky Mount was our first class winner with her Crafting Business Online. She does a really great job. Dorothy Garcia in Raleigh has started a florist. She's doing real well with it, and we're so proud of Dorothy. She'll probably join us at some point tonight, but she's been first in class as well. And then our last session just ending with Pamela at Rose Hill. Pamela Allen has a farm there. She is the winner of our first in class award. I'm so proud of Pamela because she's really getting started with her business. She's growing vegetables for sale, has her own little farm there growing vegetables, and hopefully she'll be giving us a report in the next week or two about what she's got for sale, and maybe even some of us can buy some fresh produce from her. She works hard, does a great job there in Rose Hill, North Carolina. And also she's in the goat business. She's got all different kinds of goats. I'm not sure if they're for sale or she's breeding them or for meat or for pleasure, or for pets. But at any rate, she got very interesting selection of different types of goats on board. We'll be hearing more about those, I'm sure, for those that love the goat lovers amongst us. Our Extra Mile Award, this is for the folks who go the extra mile and really dig in during the last semester. Kia Merrill in Kenansville and in Clinton with her cleaning business. She really got active, started marketing, and hopefully she's seeing some good results of that. And Frida Clifton in Lewisburg with a fantastic website called Simply Chic by Frida. we'll be mentioning her more during the course. She has really done a great job and sent me a picture of the certificates that she just received for her performance last semester. So thank you very much, Rita, for the great photographs. So we had a good group that attended and won awards. These are the folks that won certificates. We had about 15 more that didn't win certificates. They just visited and didn't qualify for anything, but we've talked about the ones who did. So thank you very much for doing that. The main thing we want you to know that Joy and I both, your success is our goal. Your success is our goal. We want you to be that winner. We want you to see the finish line of entrepreneurship so that you have a good, sustainable business. Now, getting started into this, let me just give you a few tiny tips. And I'll be very elementary at times with my comments, and some of you may be beyond that. But it's not hard. It doesn't hurt a thing to revisit and relearn and rededicate yourself to some of the basic commitments. So I want you to know that as you start your business, and we're going to do some great planning here. I'm going to help you with your budgets and your marketing and the different strategies and finding customers. But always know, and I'm telling you right up front as your business coach, plan for the unexpected. Don't be surprised to get curveballs coming at you, because we're in small business world, and especially as you're starting, there's going to be a lot of surprises that come. One of the values of attending these classes is you're going to be prepared. You're going to be prepared if you take your notes and let it sink in. Number two, don't think that you can have a business and run it right by yourself. Yes, you can do all the work, kind of like I do in mine. It seems like I do all the work, but I don't. I don't run this business by myself. I have a webmaster that helps me with my marketing. I have a bookkeeper that helps me with my books. I've got 2 or 3 virtual assistants that help me with marketing. I'm the face and the voice of the business, but we need people to help. Plus, I've got all of you, and all through the years, you cannot believe how much I've learned from you. All of us have good things to learn and to teach, and we need to make ourselves available to learn and to teach. So open your environment up to accept help from other people and such as that. Know that things will go wrong from time to time, and you will have to make course adjustments. It's not going to be a smooth ride. Starting a business is kind of a bumpy road, and there'll be a lot of bumps in the road, but what you learn here is going to be like shock absorbers for risk management to help you move forward and it don't sink the ship. So many people start businesses just on a whim or a whim, or just say, hey, it feels good at the time. And they'll make it a month or 2 or maybe 6 months, but then they're gone. And the reason for that is there's a lot of bumps in this road, and we need to be prepared to make it work. So my job is to be assertive. Assertive is a word we'll use a lot, and to motivate. I'm not just trying to step on toes here. I'm just trying to encourage you to take that next step forward, to be motivated to take that next step forward. And you'll see that I try to do that as best I can. Don't get mad at me, because I'm just trying to help you. Your job is to find the endurance. Say that, endurance. Matter of fact, let's type that in. Type that in over on your chat board, the word endurance, because we're starting number 1 out of 7, and all of us are going to need to have the endurance. Thank you so much for typing in, folks. Endurance, 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 to stay in the game. To win the game of entrepreneurship, the key is having the endurance to stay in it. If you have the endurance to stay in it, you will be in it long enough to learn the little fine tips that make the difference in whether or not you can stay in business or not. It's not the big deals that make the difference. It's the little things that you learn each day, and finding the endurance to stay in it is so very important. Thank you all for echoing that over in the amen corner over there. Each week we'll have a word of the week. And I'm using the same words this time that we used in the last semester, because people told me they were really effective, maybe the best set of words we've used in all year. So I'm going to stay with it again and see if it'll sink in. I want all of us to do it. So each week we'll come up with several new words. to put into our vocabulary and start using just to kind of help build up our skills and our words. So we'll be seeing our bird face here several times. The first words I want to talk about are be fat. Be fat, B-E-F-A-T. Those two words are not talking about the big old belly like I've got here. That's not the fat I'm talking about. We're talking about using these words. And the words for F-A-T are faithful, available, and teachable. And I have thought about this now for 12 weeks. These are so important, not only in your business life, but in your spiritual life. Being faithful and available and teachable is really all about living a good life, and it's will also be about starting and staying with a good new business. Faithful, available, teachable. So let's think about that. Being faithful. Don't be on again and off again. If you're going to start a business and stay with it, you got to stay loyal to your dream and constant, and the good word steadfast, and build relationships with people, and know that that is so important to move forward in building those relationships. And being reliable. Small business people, their customers just want you to be reliable. They don't expect you to be a Superman or Superwoman, but they expect you to be honest and faithful and being reliable. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And then the big word, which all of us have a hard time with, is being available. Making ourselves available to do business. Making ourselves available to talk to customers. I don't know how many times I hear a day when I answer the phone to talk to a customer, people are saying, Steve, thank you for taking my call. I have to leave messages everywhere or send emails or texts, but we appreciate the fact that you answer the phone and talk to us. And if you can't answer, you have a good message and you do call us back. So you've got to be available for your customers. Let me give you an example. If you're getting ready to start an online business that serves the entire United States, as I do and have for better than 30 years, you got to know that when it is 8 o'clock here in North Carolina, it's 5 o'clock in California. And I've got a lot of customers on the West Coast, and therefore I kind of make it my game that when I get that phone rings up till about 8 o'clock or 8:15, I make sure I answer it because it could be one of my customers from across the United States. That's very important, and people will appreciate that. Now, after 8 o'clock or 8:15, I let them leave messages because I need some time to rest and I get my mind off the phone ringing all the time. And in busy seasons, hopefully it's going to keep ringing. But the key there is for you to be available to your customers and to make those relationships really last. And lastly, and I'll talk right straight at you, each one of you that are here with me, and I'm seeing a lot of folks that have been in my classes before. So you're making yourself available to be teachable. I am wasting my breath and your time if you already know it all. If you know it all and you're just not really interested in learning, first of all, you probably wouldn't be here tonight. But I'm going to say to you, we have to open our minds and accept the fact with humility that none of us know it all. So I know going into this right now with 33 people listening to me, that you know a lot that I need to know, not only what you've learned so far, but what we can share and make better. So be willing to be taught. And I'll do my best to give you things in such a way, a whole smorgasbord of ways to do that. One of the ways is 40 drill skills. Now, a drill skill is just little strategies that I use but to put together, to make up a DNA for an entrepreneur, especially a new entrepreneur. Just little short quips, and they're available in one of your handouts as videos on each one of them. You can learn so much if you'll just watch those videos, and we'll talk about several of them, about 8 of them on each session real quickly. And what I'm trying to do is to get you to focus on those and make it part almost so you can memorize it and use these 40 drill skills to help you be a better entrepreneur and to understand what's happening around you. So we're going to do 8 each for the first 5 sessions. We're going to do 8 each time to get our 40 skills in. So let's get started on that. What will a business plan do for you? What will a business plan do for you? It will teach you what's left. What's left after you subtract your estimated expenses from your estimated income. It's all estimated right now in your business plan. And when we talk about that next week, we'll focus on planning and budgeting. The business plan is telling us what's left, and if that what's left meets our goals for the future. So stay with that. We'll talk about that next week a lot. What will a marketing plan do for you? That's week 3. The marketing plan will teach us and tell us what's next. What's next, so we don't have to worry too much about whether or not we're going to be in business next week, next month, next year. Because if you stay with the structured marketing plan that I'll share with you and teach you, if you'll stay with it and make it work, or stay with it and do the work required, you can have a sustainable business and have a good idea on how much business you're going to have in the future. That is so comforting that if you can take that anxiety away from it. You must know that there are 3 different types of profit centers. So what is a profit center? That's a thing that we're doing in our business that makes money. It's a generator of revenue, but we're going to call them profit centers, and we're going to put a word in front of them for this course, marketable profit centers. Why marketable? I want you to have profit centers that can stand alone, that you can market separately. Yeah, because for each marketable profit center you have, that'll represent a different niche market of customer groups that will come to your business. If you're planning on doing only one thing or selling one thing or having one service in your business, I'm going to tell you right now, with 65 years of experience, the chances are 99% that it will go south, die one day. One type projects, one type revenue sources can almost never live forever. You need many profit centers in your business to enjoy a good diversity of customers and to have business coming in all year long. You want profit centers that bring revenue in December, February, March, April, July, all through the year, because that cash flow is what's going to keep you paying your bills and buying groceries. Now, there's 3 different types of marketable profit centers, but I'll encourage you to have at least 5 different profit centers in your business, or many more. In my business, I've probably got 26 different profit centers, and that means I have a good diversity of customers and cash flow year round. We'll get into that, but there's 3 different kinds, and this is what I want you to remember now. We got profit centers that bring in new customers and daily business. We got to have that. New customers and daily business, especially any new business. An old business like mine will lose 1/3 of your customers every year. So we have to focus on a structured way to keep bringing in new customers. Then we want profit centers that focus on repeat business, focus on merchandising, have profit centers that impulse buyers will use. Those profit centers generally create more profit, higher margins, and you're able to sustain your business. Once you get your customers coming in, then you have profit centers to hold them and keep them there. And lastly, which you probably haven't thought about, I want you to have some profit centers that generate big ticket sales, larger deposits. And lots of times, looking at the different types of businesses you're starting, you're planning on selling items that don't cost very much. It's easier to get into those type businesses. But here's the bottom line. We need some big ticket deposits so that we can have enough money to carve out some more margin and put some money aside. Excuse me, my throat's dry. Thank you. It's a whole lot more fun to go to the bank and deposit $5,000 than it is $500, right? Well, if we've got some big ticket deposits, you'll be able to put away some reserve money, because there are some curveballs coming, some prizes coming. unexpected expenses, and we will need those reserves to stay in business. The thing that puts lots and lots of brand new businesses out, they maybe get up and running and start creating a little bit of cash flow, but a big thing will come along and just knock them out, like an air conditioner goes out, or you lose your tractor, or a transmission goes out, and you just don't have enough money to fix it. So the big ticket items will help keep us in business. 5 marketable profit center will bring us business from all different types, a lot of different types of customers, and we need a diversity there. Through the series, we'll use the term RFC. RFC is a raving fan customer. This is going to be the most important entity in your tool belt, having raving fan customers. Let's type into on the chat RFC. RFC, raving fan customers, and say it to yourself as you're typing it in. The RFC is the customer, that raving fan, that will keep coming back, and not only come back, but brag about you to all the other people they know. In other words, they are a walking, talking marketing machine, the RFC. So valuable to us, and you're going to want them, and I'm going to teach you in week 3 how to create a raving fan customer. They won't happen, you won't have that raving fan customer unless you do something. Matter of fact, unless you do 3 things, and I'm going to teach you $1 million secret, not going to cost you one more penny to create your own raving fan customers. It's so important for us. NDCP, like rock, paper, scissors, NDCP stands for no demand, change the plan. We're going to work hard, and you're going to work hard on your business plan, your planner, your budget. You're going to work hard on it to get a good estimate of what kind of money you can expect to make and to keep. But I'll tell you right now, things just don't always work out in your plan, and we have to be willing to change our plan. A lot of folks will do a business plan and it don't work and they just quit. That's ridiculous. We're not going to think about that. We are going to know going in though, but we're going to put together a plan that we can change easily and see how it will affect the overall outcome of our profitability. So NDCP stands for no demand, change your plan. In ABCD now, we're using a lot of elementary letters here, but they're important. ABCD, how about typing that in your chat if you don't mind? ABCD, always be connecting dots. Always be connecting dots. It's time now that we start making a lot of decisions. And I want you to know that it's important that as you make these decisions, we need to think about, is this decision going to connect well with the other decisions I'm making? You see, all the decisions we make in starting our business, we need to kind of form them up in a circle so that the circle rolls. It keeps on going. We want our business to roll on, like roll on tide. We want our business to roll on, to keep going and be sustainable. A sustainable business is one that keeps rolling and rolling and rolling. And ABCD is saying always be connecting the dots in such a way as not to create a bump in the road. Not to create a bump in the road. That is to say, we don't need to add a profit center that don't fit with anything else we're doing. We don't need to add an employee that just is not going to help us. We don't need to buy a brand new truck for $100,000 when a used one for $10,000 to get the job done. It's thinking like a business person and connecting the dots in a way that makes your business sustainable. A, B, C, D. Now there's 3 important words. The most important words that we'll talk about tonight and for the rest of your entrepreneurial life. Now that's a heavy-duty statement, isn't it? Tonight and the rest of your entrepreneurial life. And I'll ask you again, let's see if that chat button can work for you, because every time you type something in chat, you know what you're doing? You're typing it into your brain too. It helps you hold on to it. So 3 words: buy, B-Y, V, T-H-E, way. W-A-Y. By the way, type those in for me if you don't mind. By the way, if you are planning on getting a tattoo tomorrow on your forehead or across your back, let me encourage you to tattoo the 3 words, by the way, there. Isn't that ridiculous? Well, to underscore their importance, I'll stay with that. Because by the way will open up so many future profits for you. It is incredible. And there's so many folks that have no clue how easy it is. And that's why they can't keep their business up or make it grow. But you're going to know. It's not going to cost you 1 extra penny to understand, by the way, as solid as you possibly can, because it will create upsells for you, cross sales for you. And what does that do? It helps you stack profits. Stack profits. Now, don't that sound good? Because when you're doing upsells, you're not increasing your overhead. You're selling more stuff to that same customer, and it will just really inflate your profitability to beat the band. If we stop this webinar right here and you learned and applied what we've talked about so far, you will be 99.9% of the rest of the game. So that's how serious this is. Now, number 8, I don't talk about fishing a little bit. Maybe it's been summertime and some of y'all been fishing. I used to fish all the time. I'm not able to do it anymore, but for 25 years pretty much, if the wind wasn't blowing too bad and I could get to the ocean on the weekend, I was out there fishing. And I learned 3 important rules about fishing. How to catch how to catch fish every time I went in. And the most 3 important rules in fishing are, now listen closely, keep fresh bait in the water. Keep fresh bait in the water. Now, I'm not going to ask you to type that in yet. Just put the word keep. If you're listening to me, put keep. Because rule number 1 is keep fresh bait in the water. Now, rule number 2 is equally as important, and we have to remember it as well. Rule number 2 is keep fresh bait in the water. Keep fresh bait in the water. So typing in on this chat, now type in the word fresh. Fresh. Keep fresh bait in the water. And rule number 3, and you can imagine what it might be, I'm sure, is just as important as 1 and 2. And rule number 3 is keep fresh bait in the water. Keep fresh bait in the water. So you'll need your chat boards, those that are working out, and I appreciate it, type in the word bait, B-A-I-T. Keep fresh bait in the water. Now, what has that got to do with a start a business seminar on a Tuesday night in the summertime? It's got everything to do with it, because we are not trying to catch fish in our business. We are all about catching customers. And the same applies, except keeping fresh bait in the water is not the key words. It is to keep sending out fresh, continuous promotions. Fresh, continuous promotions. 1, 2, and 3. That is the cornerstone of a kicking a marketing plan in gear. Keep fresh promotions going out to your customers. Now, I'll show you how to do that. So on the chat, just simply type in promotions, continuous promotions. That is the key to keeping that fresh bait in the water for your customers. That's what will keep them coming back. Boy, some of y'all are doing a great job on that. Promotions, continuous promotions make the difference. So getting your business started can start getting pretty complicated. There are a lot of things to do. And just thinking about different things that may be on your mind, LLC, getting your employer's identification number, your website, how about taxes and permits, getting a domain name, doing your logo maybe, taxes and accounting, maybe you're interested in trademarks or doing business as, what about license and permits, what about insurance? All these are important factors that should be on your mind if you're thinking about starting a business. And the good news is, through the course of this series, we'll cover all these and so many more. So don't think we're just going to hit on 1 or 2 things. We're going to cover the whole spectrum. which means maybe you want to attend several classes several times or watch the video when you do have a chance. So how about a word here? Let's put a word in that's important. Shrewdness. Shrewdness is in being smart. Let's learn to be shrewd. Let's be clever. Let's keep that judgment up. Are you shrewd? Well, an entrepreneur that's going to make it for a long time has to be searching for better ways to be shrewd and alert. Now, tonight your handout and the study guide that's been emailed to you is basically the manuscript of a book that I wrote several years ago, which is 24 Things You Need to Know Before Starting a Business. So you don't really need to buy this book. It's at Amazon and it's for sale, unless you want to buy it and give it to someone, because if you get your study guide, you basically got the book. So keep that in mind, and we'll move forward. Now, the book goes a whole lot more in depth with lots and lots of pages about each thing we're talking about. We're just going to hit the high notes tonight with the different chapters. So if you were going to a professional counselor like Joy tomorrow to talk about starting your new business, she and any other counselor, including myself, are going to ask you a bunch of questions. They need to know that you know why you're going in business and what the details are, and have the ability to share it and talk about it. So I don't ask you some basic questions, not for my benefit necessarily, but for your own. And you'll be going through this and just thinking about it and writing it down. If you get that handout and fill them out, you can do that. I need to ask you, are you going to be personally involved in the business? Or are you going to have someone else running the business? You're just going to own it and hire people to do it. Or are you going to be in their hands-on? That's important that you know what your plan is. Is it going to be full-time or part-time for you? That's going to be so very important, because time is a tough commodity to come up with. We can't make more time. We have to carve out time to do different stuff. So part-time or full-time becomes really important. Side hustle may be even less than part-time, because you're going to do part-time timing to get to it when you can. So have that in mind, because when you're doing your business plan starting next week, you don't have to say to yourself, how much time am I going to be here, or who's going to get what done. That's really, really important. Is your business going to be one that is you're going to be doing it at home? Are you planning on keeping your expenses down as much as you can and doing everything you can from your home office? Or are you going to be mobile? Are you going to be out riding around on a vehicle calling on people? Are you going to have an internet presence? And I'm going to tell you right now that I don't know of any business that an internet presence would not be an important attribute for. Or are you going to be working bricks and mortar? That is, you're going to have an office away from home where customers can come and meet with you or see your products. Or maybe it's some type of combination. Give me just a minute. My office is heating up. I need to turn my air conditioner back on. We may have a little background noise, but it's getting too hot in here. Thank you. Thank you so much. Need that AC today. So let's think about that. If you're going to operate a home business, that's the least expensive way to go. Because when you start adding bricks and mortar, we know add rent and lots of other details that do that. So be thinking about that, because that will be an important part of your business plan. And if it's some of each, the combination, as I've done them all, then your business plan will have different sections that will address these different areas of the types of business that you go for. Now, how about a date? When would you like to say, I want my business up and running? Do you want to be up and running before Labor Day 2024? Do you want to take advantage of the holiday shopping season coming this fall? So you want to open your business up maybe in September? Do you want to plan to get it well planned out and financed and everything set up for a January opening? Give that some thought, because it will take a good 6 months to start from scratch, and sometimes 6 years, depending on what's happening in your life. So come up with that actual date that you would like to be opening. It's going to be really important when we start planning, because to have everything in line and ready to go, sometimes it takes a lot of doing, it takes a lot of time. Next week, I'll have for you a sample 6-month planner, so that you will have actually a checkoff list of all the different things you might want to check off to get ready for your opening. How about your products? You need a list of products. That is marketable profit centers, services. What are you going to be offering? Those marketable profit center services, I want you to write them down. And I want you to have at least 5 different things that you're offering to the public. Have a name on them. Have some type of idea of what the cost will be. This is a must when we do your business plan, because we're going to take each one of these marketable profit centers and try to figure out how much income they can generate for you and how much work and investment it's going to cost you to have them do that. So we're being pretty serious about this, but you need to do your part by coming up with these different lists. Now, credit. In running a business and being out in the public needing money, your credit history or your credit score will have a lot to do with whether lenders want to loan you money or whether vendors will want to do business with you. So I need to ask you, is your credit situation right now reflect a score that a lender would like to lend you money? In other words, they feel good about lending you money. If it is not there, and I know there's a lot of young folks just getting started or folks that have had some rough patches, sometimes we need to work on this. So I do have a study guide I can email to you that will follow a few tips and start today improving that credit score. And I'm glad to share that with you. So just ask for it over in the chat board. Just give me your name, email address, and say send credit information. And I'll send you a study guide that you can take a look at. Okay, now getting into some fundamental things that will be really important for you to get started. You've probably heard of a mission statement and a vision statement. Well, I don't throw in 2 more things, a promise statement and core values. These are items that I have taught and encouraged people to do for 15 years in these classes, but year before last, I actually did them for my business. I procrastinated on making them work for mine. But it has been so very critical for me and my feeling about business that I did these. I want to give you a super big encouragement to do it for yourself. Writing down your mission, vision, and promise statements is important for your customers. It shows them that you are committed because you put it in writing why you're here and what you plan to do and what you believe in. It's critical. I mean, there's no BS about it. You're being transparent with your feelings and where you want your company to go. That's important for your customer because it automatically opens the door to building relationships for business. But that's the second item that makes it important. The number one thing it will do for you is help you live up to your commitments. When I did my statements and I start putting them on every quotation that I send out to a customer, at the bottom of the quotation, I list down what our mission, vision, promise, and core values are. And I'm saying to them right there, if you will consider doing business with me, this is the way I'll act. And every day when I do those quotations going out, I make better decisions. I choose the high road every time I can, and I'm reminded that I'm supposed to do that. It's kind of like when you got that mission, vision, and promise statement. That promise statement is kind of like when you go get baptized and you promise to the church and the whole world that you're going to lead a better life. The promise statement for a business entrepreneur is, I'm going to lead a better business life, and here's where I'm putting it in writing, and hold me to it. And it works. Man, it works. For this old cadre that's been around a long time, it puts a fresh face on my commitment to doing business every day, and I hope it'll do the same for you. One of your study guides shows you and gives you great tips and a lot of words, a lot of things you can copy to go ahead and do your mission, vision, and promise statement. It will be so meaningful for you. I I'll guarantee you'll be proud of yourself, and it'll help you earn some credit points towards getting certificates, and you'll start building things that you'll be using on your website and in your promotions. Be proud of yourself. Let people know you're going to do it. Do these statements and move forward with it. The core values of your business are what you believe in, the basic types of bricks and mortar you're going to put it together. Your mission statements going to tell the community what you're doing for it, going to tell the customers what you're all about. It says all about what your employees and the owner are doing and the goals of the company itself. These are very, very important. And tomorrow I'll email you the statements for the Academy of Entrepreneurs and Estate Associates, which I'll just click through these very fast, but I'll send them to you tomorrow. The Academy has a really good mission and vision statement. The vision statement ends up with what it's all about, and I hope what you want to buy into, and that is we are all here together, me and you, our mentors, we're all here together for mutual helpfulness, and I will not settle for less than that, and so pleased to offer it. So we'll make our promises and our pledges to do different things. And so again, our bottom line in our pledge is to concentrate and strengthen our association by our devotion to mutual helpfulness. Okay, chapter 1, I want you to have a mentor. I want you to have a coach. I want you to have someone to talk to. It's important that we exchange information with people. Joy and I are volunteering to help you in that role. But just as important, you may have other people in your family or friends that you can talk to that have a good business sense, that have some common sense, and will give you good advice, who are not vested themselves into what you're trying to do with a private motive, but only to try to help you move forward. So find out people to help you and talk with you to help you get there. Build diversification into your business. These products and services need to be diversified, and you need to boost them with the most positive attitude and energy that you can come up with. Your goals need to be listed down. What are your goals? I can tell you that there's a difference in a dream and a goal. A dream is or a wish and a goal. A wish is something that might happen. A goal is something that we can work towards. And if you'll think about what your personal income goal is with this enterprise that you're talking with me about and getting ready to start, if you write down the number, then you've got a number to work towards. We may not get there. That's up front. We may not get there, but it is a big plus for you to establish a goal and start the process of getting there. That is forward movement. That is initiative. That is endurance, trying to get to that. Your business revenues are going to come into play the same way. But here's a little something different with those. That business planner we're going to work on next week, and the milepost planner that we're going to work on next week is going to help you see how far along the path you are in achieving your personal goals and your business goals revenues-wise. Very important. Think right now that I will always say start small. Start small with a good, solid foundation. Good, solid foundations will help you grow big. But we're going to grow our business one customer at a time. That's just a fact, and will help you stay in business and work it out. We're not going to jump in the water and let the undertow get us. We're going to put our toes in the water one little step at a time and move forward. That's what those 40 drill skills are about, and that's what these 7 lessons are about. We'll start small and solid, so just be patient. The things that you're learning, learn them good so that you can report them, use them, and put them to work for you. There are a lot of ways to be legal. Mainly being legal is to not be a crook, to tell the truth, don't mislead people. But in business, being legal means we have to meet some regulations, which may mean that you need to incorporate. Maybe you need to become an LLC corporation. Maybe not right now. I'm not rushing anybody into that. And as a matter of fact, one of the study guides that's available to you, it's already been sent, is a video about starting an LLC in North Carolina. And it tells you more in that video than I can tell you in a seminar. So I just sent you the video, and I think you will really enjoy it. We'll talk more about this in week 4, but right now, just you watch that video and get that information about starting your LLC. It's not difficult. It's not expensive. I'm going to tell you that when you are at a point that you're serving a lot of people and you have an exposure to lawsuits for different reasons, then you probably need an LLC and you need a good insurance person to talk to. But getting started, just watch this video and then you come about it for yourself. There are tax implications on going that way, so you can do it. The limited liability company is the LLC. And lots of folks are doing that. Usually in these classes through the years, in the 15 years that we've done these classes, every person that started a new business started an LLC. They didn't do a subchapter S, a C Corp, so many others that you do. My business right now is a C Corp because that's what you did in 1959. So in 1959, C Corp was the way people started businesses. In 2024, most people started as an LLC. The reason your tax reporting is a lot less costly and getting it set up and started is a whole lot less costly and easier. You can generally do this with yourself, right by yourself, or with the help of a bookkeeper or an accountant and or an attorney if you decide to go that way. But usually you can become established with an LLC for $250 max to get you up and running. So facing risk is a big deal for a lot of folks. So Ken may not be worried about facing risk, but Pam, she's real nervous about this. She don't want to take risk. The key here is I need to tell you, when you're starting this business, you're going to be taking risk. If there's money involved in it, profit involved in it, there are risks involved. The good news is, for every risk that you have with your business, there's a risk management tool that you can put in place to help keep that risk from sinking your ship. So that's the good news. And I'm glad to tell you that. So if you came into the lesson tonight saying, I kind of like to get my business started, but I'm really worried about this, or I'm really worried about that, I want to tell you that probably within 2 or 3 minutes, I can give you or share with you a risk management tool or strategy to help lower that risk so that you can manage it and live with it. So don't worry about it. You can let me know that you're worried about this or that, and I'll be glad to respond to you, and or Joy will be glad to do that. So let's just move on about risk management. Dividing time and setting priorities and delegating are 3 important business tools that we're going to need to work on. Maybe you hadn't been your own boss before. Maybe you hadn't ran a business before. So we need to learn some things. Just starting out not knowing anything is really dangerous. I'd say that's a high risk. So there aren't but so many hours in the day, and you're probably an already busy person. I am honored that you would join me for 2 hours tonight. I sincerely appreciate it and look forward to getting to know you and sharing information, trading emails and chats that hopefully are in front of us so that I learn more from you. Maybe you'll learn some tips from me as well. But I want you to know from a family standpoint, if you have a spouse or children and you're you're getting ready to put some real serious time into starting your business, make sure that your family knows about this and expects it. Because if all of a sudden they think that you're taking yourself out of the family life and don't know why or what your goals are, that's going to be negative. But having their support can mean so much for you and for the success of your business. So we're going to learn how to manage time and people. We'll do a lot of that. But I'll tell you now, starting a new business means getting up early in the morning sometimes and working late at night and doing things you hadn't ever done before. And because of that, it's kind of scary and it'll take up a lot of energy. So make sure that you know this going in. I just don't want you to be surprised. We're going to have to delegate some jobs to some other people. I have to do that every day. And as we go through the course, I'll talk about different things, or you can ask questions about it. Complying with local laws used to be kind of a hassle. Even 15 years ago, I couldn't say this, but tonight I can. every local government, the town that you live in, if it's incorporated, probably has a website. In North Carolina, I think they all do. Every incorporated town has a website. And at that town's website, they list down all the city ordinances, the regulations for the different cities, and they give you a directory of who to talk to about different subjects. And that's a valuable piece for you. So that I want you to familiarize yourself with your local town's website, who to talk to about different things, and usually it's going to be the city clerk or the zoning person in charge of zoning, maybe the fire marshal. So know who they are, so that you're not going to be hit with surprises later on. You can talk to these people, talk to your zoning clerk about, operate your business out of your house. Is there any issues there? You'd like to put up a sign, find out what the zoning laws are related to signs. Those are important things so that you don't do something and then have to take it down and lose that time and money. Let me assure you that starting a small business in North Carolina with local officials is generally a very positive thing. Now, there may be some buttholes out there in the world, excuse the French, who want to cause trouble, but I'll assure you they're few and far between. And if you don't feel like you're getting good support from your local official, then talk to one of the board members about it or to the mayor, and things will improve right away. That's just the way life is. People want new businesses to start, and they will do all they can to help you, is the general rule. So that's the good news about it. You will need an employer identification number. When you're born, you get a Social Security number, right? And it follows you all of your life, personal life. When you birth a business, that business gets an employee identification number, which is the same as a Social Security number for a business. So when you go to the bank to set up your business checking account, and that's one of the first things that we'll need to do, the banker's going to ask you, well, what's your employer identification number? You don't have to be incorporated or be an LLC, but you do need an employer identification number. That is the recognizable number for that entity. And if you ever close that business, shut it down and do away with it, then you'll have to fill out some forms to do away with that employee identification number as well. Otherwise, you will keep getting tax bills and tax statements. So that's the beginning of a business getting involved with the government, is getting your employee identification number. It's very important, and you'll remember it all your life once you get it, because you'll use it so many times. 5606-86221. I've been saying that number for 53 years, so I know it well. And you will know yours as well, because pretty much every form that you fill out related to your business, related to government or banking, they're going to ask you that number. Taxes, local laws. You don't have, if you're selling products that are taxable, then you're going to need to know about sales tax and resale tax. And the good news is the North Carolina Department of Revenue has a lot of information that they can help you with, such as that. In our last class of the series, number 7, I'll get into this in detail about things to know about taxes and such as that, but it is not a bad thing to do. The North Carolina Department of Revenue has offices all over the state and regional office where you can go sit down and talk to people. They have good online services. Your different community college small business center directors have direct links to the local tax folks that they can help you get some questions answered. So that is not something to be afraid of, and you can really enjoy doing that. We're fortunate in North Carolina, more so than other states, in that it's a good relationship here, and I'm very proud of that. You don't want to know about permits and license, privilege license, business registration. That is usually just one certificate that you would go to your town hall and have an application for your business. And this is the place where you'll need to have your employee identification number and address. Now, most small towns now are not charging anything for new businesses to get their first privileged license to do business in town. Some don't charge small businesses at all. This is simply what it looks like. This is for my fast forward services business. Got my address and they give me a number. I think this costs me $50 a year, and I'm registered. It's a good thing to register with your local town because, one, they know who you are and where you are. So if you're trying to do business with someone and they want to find out if you're legit, they can contact the registration office in the town and tell them, yeah, they've been here a long time. I know them. They're here in this town. They're legit. On the other hand, if you got some flim-flam person riding around here trying to do crooked business, then you can report them to the local officials, to the police department such as that, and they can make sure they've got a registration license. And if not, most of the time the city will tell them they can't do business in town, get on out of here. So there's a good value for business to be registered. The same thing is if you have a fire at your business, if it's registered, then the fire marshal has information about your business, what kind of type of flammables are in there, explosives. It makes it safer for everybody, including the neighbors and the firefighters, and a better chance to save your business. So all these things, reactions, and working with city government can have some very positive, helpful items for your business. Now, the small business centers has their own networking. It's the place where you went to register to attend this class. At that same website, there's a page there called Resources. I want to invite you, if you have time, to go back to that page and just scroll through it. It is amazing how much information they've got packed in there. They keep it updated through the years. And it is a really good place to get general information and good reading if you want to up your ante and skills and knowledge about small business. This is a good resources page to start reading to do that. I'm glad to share that with you. So let's get back to where you don't operate that business. At home, out on the road, or bricks and mortar. Operating at home is a good place to start. So when you're sending information to me about your business plan or concerns that you have, and let me invite you right now to send me an email, and I'll have my email address is already on the handouts that's been sent to you, and I'll post it again at the end here. Invite you to send me an email, tell me what you're doing, how far along you are, and what is the next step that you want to achieve. What's the next obstacle that's facing you? Because we're going to beat this thing. We're going to get it started one step at a time. So I need to know what the next step is that you're dealing with. If you want to share it on chat, you're welcome to do that. Just make sure that you got your name and your email address, and of course everyone is seeing that. But we're all in this together, so don't be afraid there unless you've got something very private. You want to send me a private email, that'll be fine. But we need to know so that we can achieve them one at a time. And I'll be committed to help you get to these next steps one at a time. Working at home, you need a space. Working at home, the rest of your family needs to know this is business space and not for everybody to be plundering or messing in. Working at home and you're on the telephone, the dog, the cat, the children, other people need to know that they need to turn the TV down, the radio down, and give you some privacy. Talk about this up front so they can appreciate the stresses that you're working on. Working from a home office may mean that you take your appointments from home, but then you get in your truck or your car and you go out to see other people. That automatically means that you're going to be using a vehicle. And that automatically means that you probably don't need to be keeping a log of your daily activities so that the company can reimburse you for your travel expenses. Okay, working from home means you're going to open yourself up to be able to get some reimbursement for your travel expenses. Maybe you're asking yourself, do I want to buy a car for my business, or do I want my business to actually buy the car or truck? Usually with startups, you're a lot better off to own the vehicle yourself. That way you'll get your insurance a little bit less money. You'll get reimbursed by the company. If you got to have a really expensive specialized vehicle for one reason or another, maybe you will reconsider that. Leasing may be an option for you, depending on if your cash flow is already established and you don't use those lease payments as direct tax write-offs. We can talk about that as we go, but you've got a lot of options there. Also, home office, but working away from home may mean that you're going to set up a trailer for displays or a tool trailer like you're doing cabinetry work or things like that. For that, I'd say as you're getting started right now, start keeping a good list of what you're spending money on. These investments that you're making to start your business, indeed, when you start doing your business plan in your books, you'll list these investments as a loan to the company, and when the company gets up and running and established, the company can pay you back these monies tax-free to you and a write-off to the company, plus the company can pay interest to you for the amount of value that you put in. But what's critical here is that you're keeping a list of everything that you're buying to help get your company started. How much it costs, exactly what is it, what date you purchased it, and any details that you want to list in on the list. At some point in time, this will be the beginning of your depreciation list. And depreciation is a word that we'll get into real big in week 6, telling you how that depreciation will help you tax-wise. Now, on a larger scale, you want a bricks and mortar business. You want an office. And that office is going to be a primary challenge to get up and running because you're going to deal with mortgages or rent, taxes, insurance, safety issues, utilities, customer service issues like lighting, space, security. If you're going to plan to do a rental property, I've got a handout that do's and don'ts before you sign any leases. And I want us to exchange emails, and you tell me basically what type of business and what type of property you're thinking about renting, and what do you think the monthly rental payment should be that you'll be able to stand. Big talking here. A lot of new businesses go to work their first 2 or 3 years, and the only person they're working for is their landlord because the rent is so darn high it don't fit the budget. So we get back to A, B, C, D. Always be connecting the dots. And the most important dot you're going to think about is how much rent you'll pay for a property. Because if you cannot make that rental payment easily, then it's not the right property. It becomes a bump in the road, and every month it'll bump and hurt your business. So keep that in mind. If you're thinking about leasing property, let's talk about that and make sure that you're going into this with your eyes open. And at least let me send you the study guide to help you from making some large mistakes. No demand, change the plan. So what am I saying here? I'm asking you to now let's just focus on these products and services. Can you sell it? That is, not is there a demand out there, but can you personally sell the product or the service? Have you ever done any selling? Do you know the do's and don'ts about salesmanship? That's so important because you can have the right product in the right place, the right price, and a willing customer, but they'll kick tires and look for reasons not to buy. The last ingredient that makes it all work is a salesperson. So ask yourself seriously, can you do this now or do you need some help? And if you need help improving your sales skills, then I can send you good information about it. And in week 7 and week 6, we'll have some special time that we spend in the webinars to help you with these skills. Plus, of course, the YouTube college is full of lots and lots of strategies as well. But we'll make sure it fits and that you kind of get it to sink in. Will they buy the product? Is it the right product at the right price at the right time? Are you able to achieve that with what you're bringing to the market? Who are they and where are they? Are your potential customers next door, around the corner in the same town, in the county where you live? Or are your potential customers on the way down to Atlantic Beach? Are your potential customers at Myrtle Beach? Are your potential customers all over the United States? Are they in Oregon or on the Mississippi River? Think about where your best potential first customers are. That's important because we want to design a marketing plan that goes after them first. Here's a rule that we don't say oftentimes. We can't be all things to all people, but we must be everything to some people. We cannot be all things to all people, but we must be everything to some people. And those some people will become your RFCs. What does RFC stand for? They will become your RFCs, your raving fan customers. So we build our business in that circle of connecting dots. So we have to think about who they are and how we're going to get to them. And we'll target our advertising towards them. In week 3 and in week 4, that's what it's all about, is how not to waste a lot of money advertising when we should be targeting our ads to them. So how many of these folks can I reach in a given period of time? Yes, maybe you can sell it, and yes, maybe you know all about it, but what maybe you don't know is how many sales do you need to make in a month to pay your bills? That's the important part right now, volume. And we have to think about that and to build it into our planning. So you can see there's a lot to think and talk about, isn't there? Some of these maybe you've already done or already got it hammered out. But I got a good feeling I'm probably bringing out some things that you said, uh-oh, I hadn't covered that base. And that's perfectly all right. So marketable profit centers, we're going to remember, that's the items that generate revenue for us. The more of them we have, the more diversified our customer base will be. But it's important that as we add marketable profit centers, we choose those centers that we can connect, that they're related, so that we can say, and by the way, I've also got this and this and this that will help complete your sale. Customers love that. They do not dread someone saying, and by the way. They appreciate it because you're probably going to bring up something they had already thought about and just hadn't figured out how to make it fit into this purchase. Becoming a better salesperson is learning how to use and by the way. All right, let's talk about the different types now because this is fundamental, a heartbeat of the business. Type 1 for profit centers, bringing in new customers and promoting daily traffic. Bringing in new customers. We want to be doing certain things that do that. I don't use the convenience store as a good example. At the convenience store, they can change the price of gasoline 1 penny and has everything to do with how many customers will come in that day. New and old, but new customers mainly. Changing it 1 penny. So gasoline is a profit center number 1 for a convenience store because it has everything to do with new customers coming in. And, you know, convenience stores don't make much money on gasoline, just like they don't make hardly any money on lottery tickets. But you and I both know that when the lottery jackpots get up real high, the convenience store business is booming. People are coming in to buy those lottery tickets. That's why the convenience stores sell them, because it brings in those customers. That is their profit centers number 1, to create new business, bring in new shoppers on a daily basis. But also your convenience stores, especially your food service companies, they have a profit center number 1, and all of them are jumping on it right now, a $5 meal, whether it's Hardee's or Carl's or McDonald's or any fast food business now has a $5 meal. That's profit center number 1 to bring in new customers off the street, to increase daily traffic. I'll be asking you which of your profit centers are designed to bring in new business off the street and increase daily traffic. Because you're going to need to have an answer for that for you to have a good cash flow. Now, profit center number 2 are designed to have repeat business keep coming, to offer merchandising impulse item type purchases, and to help build your profit margins, because with profit centers number 1, your profits are probably very low because your competing with every competitor in the community. And this is the only time I'll say it, you probably need a cheap price to have a good profit center, number one. Profit centers, number two, are not bad. They're all about what you plan to do, how you merchandise it, how you presented it, and the by the way sales. Repeat business, good merchandising profits, and higher profit margins across the board. Back to the fast food business. Yeah, it was the $5 meal that brought you in there. But in every fast food business, the average walkout ticket price is now $11 or $12. The $5 deal got you in, but the profit centers, number two, the upsize, the upscaling, that's what moved that profit margin, doubled it up to an $11 meal on average. What are you going to have in your business that brings them in and once they're there, encourages them to upsize? So by the way, something else. All businesses are doing this. It's so easy to show it with the fast food. Now, once the customer is in the store, the impulse items are where the biggest profits are. The convenience store operators will tell you they make most of their money, not on beer and not on gasoline and not on lottery tickets, but they make most of their money on these aisles. All grocery stores will tell you they make more clear profit money on these aisles up next to the cash register where people are picking up stuff for impulse items. In your business and in my business, we need to have designed some type of merchandising strategy that helps us do this as well. So give you an example. If you buy on Amazon from time to time and you make the decision to make a purchase and you click that check, automatically from the bottom of the page, it comes up and they remind you that people who just bought what you bought lots of times like to buy these items as well. They have a way of reminding us what the by the way items are. And you and I can do this in our businesses and need to do it to appreciate the power of technology and what we can do in marketing. All businesses use these strategies. The car dealership, the brand new car dealership with millions of dollars worth of inventory parked outside, they make very little money on those new cars. Even though they pay high interest and take big risks for them, they need those new car sales out there so they can sell parts and accessories and service. That's where the money is. So profit center number one for them are the new cars and trucks out on the lot. But the profit-making profit centers are the parts department and the service department. So very important. How does this shake down in the business that you're thinking about? Big ticket sales may mean that maybe you are selling something with big tickets like used cars or used tractors or real estate or land. Maybe you have got profit centers that cost a lot of money, but still you will need to make sure that after you make that sale that there's another opportunity to close it with by the way items. But most of us are normally selling low cost items. And the way that we get big ticket sales with them is to learn how to bundle, to do this and by the way product, to offer a package of products, bundle it together. So we move that from a $20 sale to a $150 or a $200 sale by offering a bundle. And when you have that larger sale, you've got a chance to have a larger margin. If you're selling one or two hot dogs at a time at 15 cents to $1.50, you're never going to have hardly more than a $500 a day deposit. But if you're selling bundles of 25 and 30 and 50 hot dogs at a time, then your daily deposits are maybe in the thousands of dollars. Keep in mind, let's put together a business that I can bundle my items and have package deals. Higher priced items are a good thing too. Good example, we'll go back to the fast food. Smithfield Barbecue, a great place to do business. They've got that $5 meal to get you on in there, but usually the walkout price average at Smithfield is probably $12. But while you're there, they're going to show you that you can spend $370 with them or $239. They've got their catering packages and family packages so that you can spend as much as you want to. And I want to tell you personally, these are good deals. I've used them myself. They have everything you need. They planned it well, and you pay your money, and you know what happens? When the guests come and you talk to other people about it, you brag about it. You become a raving fan customer because it is so well designed. I do that in my business with a lot of different types of implements for tractors, and I want you to be able to do it in your business with whatever you're selling. So I will ask you, as you're putting your profit centers together, are there going to be some profit centers that you can bundle up into a nice package so that you can have some big ticket sales? I really want you to do that. Are you going to need employees? Probably will at some point. As your business grows, you'll have to expand. But even if you're just hiring part-timers or contracted work, it's important that you know up front that your big dream probably is not going to become a big dream unless you are able to create relationships with employees and staff and customers. So building relationships is right down at the bottom line, most important, one of the most important skills that we're going to have to do. Really interested in it. Let me tell you that a little thing we'll talk about later on. Most people never quit their job. Very seldom will someone quit a job, but oftentimes people will quit their boss. Oftentimes they will start looking for a job because of a problem with the boss. A boss is a taskmaster. And if you're going to be faced in your new business as being a taskmaster, you're going to have problems keeping employees. But if we start this process right now tonight and you say to yourself, I don't want to be a taskmaster. I want to be a leader. I want to have the endurance to become a leader that encourages my employees to follow me and help us grow our business. So the question I want to leave you with related to this, how can you expect an employee or an associate to really care whether or not you'll reach your goals or your dreams and ambitions if you don't show them that you really care about helping them reach their goals? Because the key factor there is going to swing one way or the other. If you're showing you don't care, then they're there for the hourly wage and the next best job that comes along. But if you're there to build a relationship where you care about their future and you want them to care about yours, that's the ingredients for a long-term good relationship, and they will be trying to help you make profit every day because they don't care about you reaching your goals as well. Moving now to one of the most serious things is the startup cost. Starting up a new business may run from $100, and I have sent you one of the study guides, gives you 50 businesses that you can start with $100 or less. In one of these study guides that's been sent to you. However, chances are it's going to cost 10-fold that or 20-fold that or 100-fold that. We just don't know yet. But think small right now. Make a list of what you know your expenses are going to be, because when we do that business plan next week, start on it, the startup costs are going to be a fixed number. The good thing about startup cost is that's a one-time type expense. So we just need to make sure we've got it covered now. If we're borrowing the money, we're going to have to cover the payback. But make that list of startup costs that you think are going to be. I'll share you whatever you write down. By the time we get the business started, that number is going to grow and maybe multiply 2 or 3 times. Just don't be surprised, but we want to do the right thinking so we don't get the unexpected expenses. List down your expected startup cost. Every business will be different, but write them down. I'd really like for you to write them down, send them to me in an email with your other things that you're going to send to me. Let me just get a look at it. Maybe I can give you some initial feedback, and it'll really help you as we start doing the business plan work. Now, I've invited 30 of you now to send me a lot of emails. I'm biting off a big bullet here. I know that, but I'm committed to do it. I will put in the hours that it takes to respond to you and to help you. So just know that these are not false offers. is the gratification that I get and the way that I learn from you. Everything that you send to me is confidential, except I will share it with Joy as my boss. So we'll give you as well, but for her to give me feedback and different things, or I may say it'd be better for Joy to respond to this question or that question. But don't hesitate to use this service. It's worth thousands of dollars to lots of people, and it's yours at no charge whatsoever. If you're planning on borrowing money at the bank, there's some real questions that you just need to know up front. Going to a bank as a new small business, just getting started, and using your business as collateral is not going to work. Most small businesses don't stay in business long, and therefore a banker has no interest in loaning you money for a long term for a brand new business. You can get money from the local bank, however, if you're borrowing money on your own or with a co-signer, if you've got collateral, if you've got a good credit history, you just don't need to think automatically that there's no reason for me to waste my time. As you're doing the business plan next week and in the future, you'll get a real sense for how well you'll qualify for that business application. At the end of next week, you'll have a simple business plan that will help you get started in seeing how to go about qualifying for a loan or to talk to any other lender or vendor, and that's just as important. So, do you have a down payment ready? Do you have a good credit history? Are you known in the community? Do you have your roots in that community? You will need to be able to provide your tax records from the last 3 years, proof of experience in the business that you're getting started, proof of who you're planning on bringing aboard knows what they're doing. You'll need to project extreme energy and self-confidence. And right now, probably you just don't have that. And that's one of my big jobs, is to show you how to find the self-confidence to sell the business to a customer, to sell your business to a vendor, to sell your business to a lender. All that gets back to you personally and your ability to project confidence and understanding of your business. Creating the business plan and attending this class will give you a great wealth of knowledge related to that and to build that confidence up. You will want that business plan as simple as we can make it, but by doing it, you will have learned a lot about yourself and the possible business you're getting ready to start. So look forward to that. That's really a good thing. You ever heard of the Big Kahuna? The Big Kahuna in Polynesia is the prince or the queen or the king who basically is everything. They know all, they do all, they control all. The Big Kahuna in different businesses are the business people who have learned their craft well. They are the biggest player in the market. They know what's happening. They're able to sustain their business for years and stay there. Now, not bragging, but just telling facts. I've been the Big Kahuna in several types of businesses through the years, mainly with different types of products, like forklifts and certain tractors, certain combines, different things that we've sold along the way. Right now, it's mini hay balers. When you're the leader in the market, you have other people that are following you all the time, that are copying what you're doing, trying to catch up with you, do what you do better, and eventually to knock you off the mountain. That's the bad side of being the Big Kahuna. Eventually, you're going to come down. But you can stay there a long time if you know how to do it. I want you to be the Big Kahuna in what you're doing. The best way to get there is to start right now. Bobette and Kara, Scott, look around on the internet of people that are doing exactly what you're going to do. And I'm sure you can find them. Google, Facebook, find out, type in the type of business and see how other people are marketing and what they're doing, what their claims are. The good news is there's no reason that you and I have to reinvent the wheel to get to the top. What we have to do is see what the best in the business are doing and figure out a way to do it better. Figure out a way to do it better and start doing that one day at a time, one step at a time, and eventually you will get there. Excuse me. The people that are the big kahunas in different businesses, amazingly, will be happy to talk with you. They know that what they're doing is good. They've got the self-confidence and know how they got there, and they'll be smart enough to know that other people are coming along. So if you see someone that's doing exactly what you're doing, I suggest you go to a different town, not someone right in the same town you are, and talk to them. Tell them you've been watching them and admiring how they're doing their business, and you're thinking about it. Do they have any comments or your suggestions? You will be surprised how willing folks are to share with you and to give you tips. They really will be. And whatever business you're thinking about, between Joy and I, we probably know someone that's very successful at it that would probably talk to you and give you some tips. A little side story is these are also the same people that may say to you, you know, I'm so glad you came to see me today because I've been riding this boat a long time and I'd love to talk with someone about buying my business or joining me in business or open up a door of opportunity for you that you had no idea that would exist. That's the way things happen. But if you're not out there making it happen for you, you can't do it. Endurance, endurance, endurance. Think about it. Find the big kahuna, talk to them, figure out how to do them, what they're doing good and bad, and engage your business accordingly. The big kahuna is the person that's out selling, out marketing, out thinking, dodging bullets, and they do it day after day, decade after decade. I've been at it for 65 years, probably longer than most of your ages, probably almost all of your ages. Let me just ask, is anyone out there on the chat board, is anyone out there over 65 years old? Just say yes or no. If you say yes, you're 66 or older. Give me a chat report here. Yep, got one that's over. No, 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 no. All right, all you know is I appreciate you. I'm proud of you for being in the game at under 65, but it also gives you a real story that you can start a business from scratch. My dad did it with $3,000 in 1959. You can start a business from scratch and stay with basic fundamentals and be in it longer than you have been on earth today. That's a good thing. That's something to look forward to. And so, no, I'm not the big kahuna now, except there may be one or two items. But through the years, I've been the big kahuna with maybe as many as 10 different items. And it's a good feeling. And that customer base stays with you, even though the rest of the world goes on. So surround yourself with good advisors and mentors. I'm going to tell you right now that you have surrounded yourself tonight with as many as 33 different upcoming entrepreneurs. These are good people. All of y'all are good people because we got the same motive and goal, and we're stretched out. We can learn a lot from each other. But I want you to have someone that's personal that you can trust and work with through the years. And that's the advantage of the Association of Entrepreneurs and Associates. You will, through seeing folks on the chat board and sending private messages back and forth when you see where someone's from, and maybe you want to talk to them about what type of business they're in. And I will start promoting you individually too, if you'd like. Give me your pictures and such as that to help you find more and more people to help give you positive notes. And so proud to do that. We don't need to know our competition. I want you to check them all out, find their different ads, see what they're doing. Think about if this is something you want to do. Ask me how you can build that information into your marketing plan. There's no reason that you can't be the right person for the right people. We cannot be all things to all people, but we can be everything to some people. And to do that, we have to know the way to get to them and see how our competition is getting them to them as well. The most dangerous threat that you're facing as a new startup entrepreneur tonight is so important that you understand. It's not the competition. It's not one individual out there that's against you. The most dangerous threat that you have are distractions. Distractions in your life, just like distractions in my life, are our most dangerous threat. All of us and all of you are so busy already. What's going to happen tomorrow to make different things happen to help you get this business up and running? One thing has got to happen. You're going to have to change the priorities of your time to make time to devote to starting your new business. So I'm not stepping on your toes here or pushing you somewhere you want to go. I'm encouraging you to open your eyes and just know that making yourself available that we talked about at the beginning, making yourself available to make this work is a critical injunction. What's going to have to be set aside that you're doing now to make room for this new item? What's going to have to be put on the shelf or thrown out in the trash dump, time-wise, that you're doing now to be able to become the entrepreneur and start the business that you want to go? That's a real serious personal question for you, and I know that. I got to ask it, because if you don't make the changes, it will not happen. Setting priorities daily is the way that I and you can fight distractions. Every day before I lift my head off the pillow, I lay there with my eyes dry again, half open, and say to myself, what are the 3 things that I need to do business-wise today that I cannot afford not to do? What is important that I got to get done? And I want to get it done before lunch. I want to get these things done, or contact this person, or make this deal, or call someone before I go to lunch. And after I get up and get to swinging, I do everything I can to work those into my schedule and make it happen. And sometimes I fall flat on my face. The phone will start ringing. I lose it all. I'm just putting out one fire after the other. That's what I did yesterday. Mondays are a lot like that. Tuesdays are too. Because people have put all through the weekend and then they flood you in on Monday and Tuesday. But I have to get those things done, and I will. I may not eat lunch till 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock or not at all. But I'm always keeping that priority setting on my mind. Guess what? Some days I can get 6 things done. But usually 3 is about all I can do during my busy season. Let me encourage you to try that. Help you get things done, because maybe you're like I am. At the end of the day, we just sit back and say, well, what happened? I had planned to do all this stuff and I didn't get anything done today. I just went one thing to another and didn't finish a darn project. That happens to us, and it will continue to happen. But if you try to set those 3 priorities to get done before lunch, it will really help you. So let me encourage you to give that a shot. What can you do? What's the most important things that you can do to help your business be around a long time, to be sustainable? Now listen to me carefully, and I'm encouraging you now to take this in. And I'm hoping that maybe you like what you've heard tonight and you'll want to attend all the classes, or at least some of them. Every Tuesday night, the same login place. You're welcome to come right on back. So I do want you to register at the website, though, but you're welcome to come right on in. Target your customer groups, and we'll do that as you pick your products. Create a database, how to stay in touch with your customers. Remember that keeping fresh bait in the water, how important that was? We do that with a good database. We don't have good new promotions to encourage people and remind them that we're in business. And our promotions are going to feature our different profit centers. So the more profit centers you have, the more promotion you can send out without being repetitious. Right now is what I'm going to say to you. We're not going to worry about the word spam. We're not going to worry about the words junk mail. We're not going to worry about, are we sending too much information out? Because the answer to all that stuff is no. We're worried about making our business work and getting our news out there. And to do that, we can do it in such a way not to be considered as spam. If people want to unsubscribe, they can certainly do it, and we'll make it easy for them. But we must continuously get our message out there, and I will show you how to do that. Continuous promotions are important. Old school now, old school philosophy. We have to follow up. We have to follow up with that customer after we send them a quote or have a chance to start a relationship with them. The one night stands, the hello, glad to meet you, I may never see you again as long as you live, will not keep your business going. Will not keep your business going. We must keep following up, not only with the continuous promotions, but once a relationship is started, we need to follow up with that to see if they're 100% satisfied, to see what we can do better to get feedback from them, to stay in touch. This staying in touch takes up a lot of time. And it means that you're doing more than just trying to take orders. So let me draw a line here. If all you want to do is to take orders and have a website that's got a shopping cart where you put a picture up and people send you money, that is take it or leave it marketing. It works for a lot of people and it may work for you. I don't like that type of marketing in my business. Take it or leave it means I don't want a relationship with my customer. So we'll be debating that all along through this series, and I'm going to show you the do's and the don'ts for both. But if that's the type of business you want, I'm going to help you get there. But I want you to know that if you're promoting take it or leave it, you're giving up relationships, and giving up relationships means you're giving up future business. Follow-up is so important. Naming your business is important. What you name it is important. Is it recognizable? Does it tell a story? Does it promote your private labels? Your business name is important. DBA, doing business as. DBA, doing business as, is super important for new businesses. You got study guides for both of these items, and we'll spend a lot of time on. But right now, I've got a study guide about naming your business, and I'll be glad to share that with you. It's important that you keep that in mind, that you pick the right words so that in the future, customers can find you. How do we find customers is a big question that we talk about in week 4. How do we find customers? And the answer to that is we're going to help them find us. We're going to help them find us. And that is mostly done through internet marketing and the use of SEO, search engine optimization. You're going to need to know quite a bit about SEO, and I'll teach you. And you'll understand how it works and how to make it work for you. That's mainly in week 4. Do you need a business plan? Oh, yes. A new business needs a business plan. Do old businesses like mine need a business plan? Oh, yes, but we're probably not going to call it a business plan. We're probably going to call it our monthly reports, our year-to-date reports, and things like that, because we'll build those in such a way to help us see what our business is doing and make changes. They become our business plan. Our mission, vision, and promise statements, oh yes, because they remain the standard that we use from start to finish. But yeah, we want a business plan, we want a business planner. Did you know what? Your first business plan is all going to be about all guessing. And that's why maybe it's just as important that we worry about budgeting and getting started than having a full-fledged, sophisticated business plan. My objective for you is to have a workable budget to get started with and a business planner so that you know where you're headed in the next few months. That's something that will be a real value for you right now, and we'll progress as we go. That planner that we'll share with you next week will help you get started. Now, business philosophy, what's old Steve all about? Where am I going to try to lead you? One of the things that I'm going to try to lead you to is no take it or leave it marketing, number one. Number two, keep fresh bait in the water. Number three, have plenty of market centers, marketable profit centers. Next, don't give away any discounts. Do not have any discounts. But the rest of the story is, do not have any discounts that you don't plan to give. No discounts that you don't plan to give. Let me give you a piece of information that will just thrill you. There's three types of buyers out here in the world that are going to come to your new business and think about doing business with you. One is the Walmart, cheap, cheap, cheap. The all-powerful dollar is everything to me and in my life. Cheap, cheap, cheap. That's that class of buyers that care about only one thing, and that is getting a cheap price. What they don't care about is whether you stay in business or not, whether you feed your family or not, or whether you're here tomorrow or not. They don't care about that. They're after a cheap, cheap, cheap price. And in our market, depending on what you're selling, there's always a good 25 to 35% of people that's their thinking. And then next, there's a group of people who are not cheap, 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 but they're going to shop hard and they're going to look for a good deal. But they also recognize that sometimes they realize it's worth paying a little bit more money to get a lot more product. There's a lot of those people out there that like to negotiate and talk about and look for something that's not the cheapest. That's another 25 to 35% of the market. And then there's the other 25 or 30% that maybe you didn't even know existed. And that is the folks that are willing to pay the prices you're asking because they are wanting to buy the most expensive thing they can find on the market. They want to give a gift and be able to say, this is the nicest one I could find. This is the most quality I could find, and it costs more money. Yes, I recognize that you've got a reasonable price here, and I want you to make a reasonable profit so you will stay in business and be here for many years to come. I like you. I'm a raving fan customer, and it's okay for you to make a good profit margin. Three different buyers. And I'm going to teach you how to sell to all three of them. Oh, yes. All three of them can be your customer, and you can have the volume with the cheapers. You can get your good profits with the folks in the middle of the road, and you can knock some home runs with those high dollar things. You can do that only if you don't play take it or leave it. And only if you don't give discounts that you didn't plan to give. It's a fun trip. You will enjoy it. The main thing you really enjoy is it will show you how to make a whole lot more money by not trying to be cheap, cheap, cheap. So let's wrap this thing up. We're right on time. Don't forget to fill out the survey. Keep your principles ahead of your profits. I will encourage you all the way through here to be a good, godly person, doing the right thing by the golden rule. Treat people right. Keep your principles above your profits. Have a legacy as being a giver and not a taker. Someone that's willing always to help folks when you can. Not to steal from folks, not to take advantage from folks. Set your legacy as a giver and not a taker in the community, and everyone will be proud of you and you'll be proud of yourself. Understand endurance. We have to have the endurance to finish strong, and we do that several different ways. Number one, pace yourself. Let's get on a plan that's your plan, at your pace, that you're comfortable with. Humble yourself. Be willing, as I am, to say, I don't know it all and looking forward to learn more. Teach me. Find your inspiration somewhere. Maybe it's from your music. Maybe it's from someone you talk to, some readings you do, prayer, talking with Jesus, asking for help, keeping him by your side. Find your inspiration somewhere. It makes no difference to me where, but find a way to charge your battery internally so that you're proud of what you're doing and you're out here after it for good reasons. Drop a few pounds. I'm not saying these kind of pounds, but let's drop a few pounds of stubbornness, a few pounds of procrastination, maybe a few bad friends that are bad influences, and replace them with people that have business savvy and want to help you. Drop a few pounds. But number 5, and finally, focus on the finish line. We have to keep working towards the finish line, and yours is different than mine and everyone else's. Your finish line may be, hey, I don't read these handouts and I will be here next week. Your finish line may be, I'm going to stay with this and have my business started by a certain day. Your finish line may be, I'm going to keep my business running for 50 years and I'm going to keep doing it one day at a time. It's your finish line and we need to focus on it. Next week, we're going to talk about budgeting 101, how to basic budget. I want you to let your light shine, let people see that you're in this for the long term. Let's remember that we're all living and knowing and remembering that it's all about the goodness of God that brings us these opportunities. And oh, how blessed we are to be in the United States of America. Thank you so much. I hope you've enjoyed the program tonight. I invite you to turn your mic on and we'll chat one at a time and listen to each other. Send me emails, STV, let's see if there it is, stvcarv@AOL. Write that down. And we'll certainly be glad to help get this started. Remember, 6 more Tuesday nights. More information will just be flowing in. I'll look forward to working with and learning more about each and every one of you. Thank you so much. God bless you and good night. My new family. Okay. Any comments from anyone? Be glad to hear from you. Hey, Pamela, our first in class. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good.
Good. You got some vegetables on sale yet?
Well, with the dry weather and the heat, I didn't get too many vegetables.
I understand. It took me 3 weeks to find some fresh okra, but thank you, Pamela. We appreciate all you're doing. And I want you to send me a note about what you're doing with those goats and how I can help promote that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's Pamela, our first in class last semester. Thanks for being back with us. She's also one of our masters in the academy. How about you, Kate? Kate, where are you located? Michael, good to see you. That area code 843, where is that located? Y'all turn your mics on and talk to me. All right, let me share with you. I hope that the weather is good for you the next week. Next Tuesday, look out for lots of email coming to you. Don't be discouraged by me sending you email. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do, and I'm putting fresh bait in the water just for you. And looking forward to helping you get your business started. So God bless you all. Take care. We look forward to working for you, and we'll see you next week. Thank you so much.